What's going on, everybody? In today's video, I got some CleanSpark news for you. We also have an indicator that just flashed on Bitcoin. We're going to look at CleanSpark on the chart. We're also going to go over this recent price target, among a few other things. So let's get started on this video. If you like these, consider hitting the like, subscribe, ring the notification bell. Definitely helps me out a lot. Check out the links below for some free stocks and cryptos. I will be adding a few more links as well soon here. They might end up down on the description on this video or maybe the next video. But let's take a look at what's going on for CleanSpark and Bitcoin. First off, Bitcoin, we did just flash a golden cross, which is very bullish. And while price has been kind of going sideways from 34,000, holding 34,000 very well, I might add. These moving averages, which are lagging indicators, we just saw a golden cross where the 50 crossed over the 200 MA, which is very bullish. And last time we saw a golden cross was back in February 2023 when Bitcoin was right around 21,000, running all the way to a high of nearly 32,000 before pulling back, seeing a short-lived death cross, and now this golden cross. Now we are a bit overbought still on the RSI for Bitcoin. I wouldn't be surprised to see a little more sideways action, maybe a pullback towards 32, but that shouldn't invalidate this golden cross. Even a drop down to 32 likely wouldn't bring us a death cross. But these moving averages are certainly bullish. They are both pointing up, and they are in the correct order with the 50 above the 200 due to this recent golden cross. And I will add that the EMAs look very good as well, all pointing up with the 50 above the 200 and the 100. And we do have an article touching on this. Golden cross starts to form as Bitcoin price eyes a $50,000 breakout. And in this article, we actually have some quotes from George Tung of Cryptos RS. And let me know down below if you guys are familiar with his channel. And George says, if you're looking at charts, charts are indicating good things. On a daily chart, golden and death crosses sometimes take a long time to happen. And after they happen, either very good or very bad things happen. Back in March or February 2022 is when we formed that death cross, and we did not get out of it for an entire year. And when we broke through, that's when it indicated we were out from the bottom. And George believes this could be the final golden cross. Now we have come full circle with this golden cross, and this one may last all the way until 2025. This could go all the way. We have not seen any more stops until the end of 2025. Golden crosses are good. Two moving averages, a shorter one and a larger one. This is very good. And for us to see a death cross, for this to be invalidated, we would likely have to drop under 30,000, and not just a flash crash, not just a quick scam wick that brings it down to bring the price back up. We need to see an extended move down to 30,000 to potentially see a death cross. So it is very possible that we are looking at the golden cross that starts the definitive bull run. But let me know in the comments below what you think about that. Are we going to see one more final death cross, or is this the final cross that moves us much higher? Now I also want to get into some CleanSpark related articles. We have one that came out today going over the ownership of CleanSpark shares, and top owners are retail investors with a 60% stake, while 36% is held by institutions. Now as for hedge funds, this article says that hedge funds don't have many shares in CleanSpark. However, the company's largest shareholder is BlackRock, with ownership of 4.5%. I do expect they are going to increase their ownership when the chart looks more bullish, when Bitcoin starts having its run. We all know BlackRock is very bullish on the Bitcoin space and the industries that surround it. And in terms of ownership, CleanSpark is relatively decentralized. And this article found that 25 of the top shareholders collectively own less than 50% of the shares, implying that no single individual has a majority interest. That is good because any one huge shareholder that could own potentially a large amount, if they decide to sell, that could very negatively affect stock price. But because these shares are dispersed well within retail, institutions, hedge funds, and insiders, we have a broad spectrum of ownership, meaning institutionals don't have all the control, retail doesn't have all the control, and insiders with their roughly 2% of the overall shares don't have all the control either. There's more to that article, so I will leave it down below for you guys, but I also want to touch on this milestone to 10 exahash. And I covered this in my last video. I'll leave it at the end screen, but I wanted to show you their actual press release. I didn't show you guys this. CleanSpark has increased its hash rate by nearly 50% in the last 5 months alone, and is more than halfway to its planned capacity of 16 exahash per second. Now keep in mind, guys, that is going to be reached likely in the beginning of 2024, so their goal of reaching it by year end is not very likely to happen. And this isn't due to CleanSpark, this is actually due to the energy providers. It takes a lot of energy to provide the power needed for mining Bitcoin, and these energy providers are trying to build substations to support this Bitcoin mining. But due to this lengthy process of building all these power stations, CleanSpark's 16 exahash goal likely won't be reached by year end, However, we will very likely see it in the beginning of 2024, along with the 4 exahash expansion that they mentioned a few days back, which would bring them to somewhere around 20 exahash of Bitcoin hashing power. And they do touch on this 4.4 exahash expansion news, saying that these machines are scheduled to be delivered in early 2024, and once plugged in, the company expects to reach a total hash rate of more than 20 exahash per second. The efficiency rating of the S21s is 17.5 joules per terahash, which is nearly 20% more efficient than those XPs, and their current efficiency is 27.8 joules per terahash. The goal here is lower cost of joules per terahash. The lower, the better. And as said by Zach Bradford, the CEO, our talented teams are driving incredible optimizations at our existing data centers while also executing a massive expansion at our Sandersville location. Both efforts, efficiency optimizations on the one hand and expansions on the other hand, are helping us to achieve the scale and position that we expect will make us among the best prepared for the upcoming halving. We also have news today of Bernstein initiating CleanSpark with an outperform rating, giving them a price target of $5.30. And looking over at tip ranks, we definitely have some more bullish analysts than the one we just received today. But the average 12-month forecast here is about $9.16 per share, with the highest price target of $14 and the lowest price target of $5.30. From Bernstein. And H.C. Wainwright, with the most bullish prediction of all of them, according to this, is the most accurate analyst. Which analyst should I follow if I want to buy CleanSpark and sell after 1 month? H.C. Wainwright has a 50% success rate, but looking farther, when you go to 3 months and beyond, they have a much higher success rate. And that's one thing that really rings true with some of these Bitcoin miners because of the uncertainty of where Bitcoin's going, and because of the Fed, when we have record high interest rates, this definitely doesn't help small cap unprofitable companies. So small caps across the board have been basically selling off over the last year or so. Luckily, Bitcoin's increase in price over the last year has helped a lot of these Bitcoin miners to not be in huge downtrends, just like a lot of overall small caps. But you got to realize with these Bitcoin miners, with Bitcoin, the longer your time horizon, typically the better you're going to perform. And I do think these double-digit price targets will be realized within a year. I personally expect much more than that, but let me know in the comments below where you think CleanSpark could be trading at about a year from now. So late 2024. Now looking at CleanSpark's chart, it definitely does not look as good as Bitcoin. We are nearly about to flash a death cross if we sell off a little bit more. We for a brief period bounced back over the 50 MA for it to all just be taken back on this pretty aggressive sell-off. Over the last roughly 6 days, all we've been doing is trending down, while Bitcoin has been maintaining 34,000. I think a lot of this has to do with the upcoming Fed meeting, a lot of fear in small caps, and Wall Street knows, these companies are either going to have to acquire very high interest rate debt, or they're going to have to dilute shares, which either isn't necessarily good for shareholders. But looking much farther ahead, looking into 2024, into 2025, I do expect these guys to reach profitability, and I do think we're going to have an epic Bitcoin bull run, and many of these miners are going to do very, very well. But for now, the chart doesn't look all that amazing, but a breakout for Bitcoin above 35,000 could definitely change that for CleanSpark. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about Bitcoin and CleanSpark down below. And where do you think we'll be by the end of this year? I personally think Bitcoin could be pushing towards 40,000 easily if we keep our momentum that we've been gaining. And CleanSpark could probably be trading somewhere around 8, testing that previous peak right around $8. In the end, CleanSpark's efforts in increasing their hash rate during the bear market, in my opinion, will pay off in the coming bull market. And they're one of the miners that made the most aggressive moves in terms of gaining hash rate, which definitely will pay off long term. But thanks again for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you have a good Halloween. I will catch you tomorrow.